Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Just Unsecure podcast on information and cybersecurity matters as it relates to Africa. My name is Babs, and my co-host OO. We're information security enthusiast and evangelist, and we're here for you for another podcast. You hear me?
Thank you. Today, for everyone that's listening and joining us, it's a pleasure to have you on. We will be talking about key things, how we've seen during the week that one of the government's key security agency is now jumping in to provide help to help fight backdoors. And then we'll look at VPN. We know they're secure, right? But how are they being compromised recently? And what do we need to do? And then probably we'll also go into some discussion about key security recommendations. So join us. Stay tuned.
Thank you. And like Yemi said initially, the first breach, which is the FBI and CISA warns a very highly tech company known as Fortinet FortiOS vulnerabilities are being actively exploited. It's an advanced persistent threat. Actors scanning devices on regular known ports and finding vulnerabilities out there. Yemi will give us more details about it and, elaborate about some of the security issues that compound different companies and the security thought that we all think, oh, we're secure because of VPN. This kind of blows it totally out of the water. Yemi, on you.
Great. You've mentioned one of the things that I've got a kick at during the week. It's not funny, but again, too, I cannot stop to be amazed about some of the vulnerability that we have left hanging for a while. So it's not new that FortiGate or FortiOS has a vulnerability that has been compromised. Some of them have been released since 2018, 2019, and 2020. So now the beginning of 2021, in April, these are being compromised. That means a lot of people have not patched. A lot of people have not listened to advisory, even from Fortinet itself. Fortinet in December have warned that people and the organization that have those FortiOS should actually patch it up. So I will call out the CVE for some of us so that in case we fall into this bracket, we should go ahead and look at it. One of them is the CVE 2018. So you can see that date, 2018 13379, 2020 12812, and the last one is 2019 5591. So they are not new. So now is the FBI and the CISA of US that's actually now releasing a communique to say, please go ahead. And I know out of the 500,000 customers of FortiGate in the world, I know a lot of it falls into Africa. And if you think this is dangerous, I'll tell you it's dangerous because it is actually most of your firewalls and VPN end. And a manufacturing company was compromised recently this March. And all manufacturing production stops. But you can say that, yes, it's very hard to actually patch operating solutions of operating technology, which is being used in manufacturing, oil and gas, and all that. But again, make sure that this firewall that are right there are well protected. If not, please just remove them from the internet completely. You can put another one there, but remove that. So that is the advice to some of our listeners, especially that are holding on to critical infrastructure.
Yep. Thank you, Yemi, for that update. And just to update you, the CISA is the Cyber Security and Infrastructure Security Agency in America, so people don't get it confused with the CISA from one of the audit organizations that is popularly known.
So it's not. So you're definitely saying that no, we're not talking about CISA as
exactly
a certification. No,
exactly. So I'll put on another breach that happened, but more of on a lighter note. So we have the LinkedIn breach where it was said that 500 users were the data was exploited. So LinkedIn has officially come out to say no, that those data were public data known, and those were done from web scraping other organization, and your LinkedIn data was actually safe. Regardless of it, I still find it as a big issue because the data out there can still be used for malicious intent. It can be used for spear phishing. It can be used for spam campaigns, and it can be used for brute force in terms of people know your email address. All they have to do is try and get your password over and over again. So regardless if LinkedIn says yes, it wasn't them, we should also look at it. Data security. How is it that anyone on a malicious people can actually scrap the web and get all that detail? There should be a way to say, okay, your data is secure, is mandatory to be secure in any organization you give it. But like I said, it's a lighter note. LinkedIn has said the data that was released by the research organization or hackers were not from the LinkedIn site itself. So it wasn't any security breach from LinkedIn. That's like I said, on a lighter note. The next thing, yes, you wanted to say something about that?
quick one. One of the golden rule for some of our listeners is, who do you admit into your social circle? Some of us don't even know, and we just, anyone that asks for connect, we connect.
That's
so
true.
How did this compromise happen? Scraping, or what you might call it, it's just because people are connected to people and they can see your detail. So know what detail you have in any social media. And by the way, whether you're on Facebook or whatever, you have to be sure of the people that you're connected to, and myself as well. So, and yourself, because
yes, definitely.
luckily I didn't find my own name on it. Also on the Facebook bridge, I didn't find my name on it. Also, I was lucky. So, but the real lesson is, make sure you know who you're adding to your social circle.
Yeah. And on that note, we'll move to one of the hot topics of the day, which is actually.
And you're going to take that Sunday.
No. This, I'll dive into it because it's of interest to me as well. Because it's the Microsoft Exchange. I think we talked about it in our last pod, but briefly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it seems there are still vulnerabilities that affect the Microsoft Exchange. Even the NSA discovered new vulnerabilities affecting Microsoft Exchange server. And I've told Microsoft. So Microsoft now is rolling out fixes for a total of 114 security flaws, including actively exploited 0-day and 4 remote code execution bugs in the server. So if that is not critical, I don't know what is. So if you have a Microsoft Exchange server, I think you should take it very seriously to go and ensure that, if Microsoft is patching or giving you releasing patches, please take it seriously to patch those servers. Because right now, when they say there's a remote code execution, means anyone that is malicious that gets to your Exchange server can execute the code and own your server, literally.
Absolutely. This is a key email server for most organizations. most of them have got one form of Exchange server or the other, whether it's old or new. So this is really critical. And a part of it are actually facing the internet much more than it is. So I think it's something that our listeners needs to approach. And you want to follow it up with, is there any other thing that you want to say about that today?
Is what we were talking about recently, about the one you pointed out in our earlier discussion. You pointed out about the FBI getting involved.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's crazy. That's
just
crazy.
Last week, you would realize that some things have actually become a critical national issue when you see the FBI jumping and trying to make amends. So the FBI got a court injunction to actually go ahead, go into the servers of customers, users, companies, and help them to remove the backdoor caused by the aftermath of Hafnium. Hafnium is the name that Microsoft gave to the compromise of the Exchange server. So they went ahead and they were helping them to remove the backdoor, because already those critical system Exchange servers are used to also compromise the other companies in the country. So for a court order, for a judge to actually grant that, to say, FBI, please jump in, help those guys, you will know it has gone beyond what should be handled.
Absolutely. Once agencies like the FBI are getting involved, it's no longer a joke. It's now something serious, and I think it's a call to agencies in Africa as well that we need to step up our game and ensure that companies within the country are accountable and are doing the right thing to patch or be aware of security issues within the space. Every country in Africa should have a duty to ensure that they are up to speed with the latest technology and the latest way of knowing vulnerabilities out there. If it's in-house white hackers or things like that, they should have them within their organizations to be able to repel, or should I say, be able to understand what is going on, and don't wait for third parties or another organization in another country to inform us about what is going on. It would be good if one day, some organization in Africa is the one, telling the Western world or Europe that, look, there's a vulnerability here that needs to be patched, and we are actually actively involved in bounty of looking out for flaws in softwares, hardwares, and things like that. It will be, I think, step by step, but I'm sure we'll get there. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it comes to talk about what we always mention, that security is a community thing. So if you think like, yeah, I'm not affected, I'm patched. For example, if you are patched for Exchange, for instance, it doesn't mean that the other company that is not patched and is compromised will not send you spams or flood you with DDoS for you to compromise your environment, or send you even laced email that will end up compromise you because you've probably trusted that other organization. So spread the word around. Create a community out of it, to say to other guys who probably in the industry that operates Exchange servers, say, have you patched your Exchange server? And if they have not, please protect your company as well. You can block their email for a while if you have that power, especially when they are your partners. Because some partners don't even bother. They just think, yeah, that's it. We don't care if we are not affected. It's the big companies. No, the small companies have a lot of role to play. So, and that is why the FBI is jumping in, and those probably will be smaller companies that they're actually jumping in to help them remove the backdoor. But removing the backdoor is a big deal. Patching is a big deal as well. I think we should do that quickly.
Absolutely. And like I said, I always like to give a bit of good news in all the doom, not in terms of cybersecurity. So another good news is for Zoom, there was a security issue with Zoom issue, and basically hackers found that out, and they are now $200,000 richer, which means if you're able to attend the right event and show that you're able to find out vulnerabilities in software or devices, they'll be able to give you some money. So these two guys, they went to something known as the Pawn to Own organization. They normally have events where they invite white hackers, and the white hackers try to hack known softwares and see whether or not they have any vulnerabilities. So they were able to do this with a remote code execution flaw. It was a class of software flaw that allows a malicious actor to execute code of their choosing on a remote machine, whether LAN, WAN, or Internet. And this was found possible using on the Windows and Mac for the Zoom version. But again, we're lucky. We have people that are white hackers that, just want to show that even though they find the vulnerabilities, they don't send it to criminals, and they want to actually show that, there are some good hackers out there trying to resolve issues issues or tools that we use in our day-to-day life, so that people cannot use it for malicious intent. So kudos to the two guys. I don't know their names right now, but they will be in the link of our discussion later on. You can check that out in our YouTube channel. Anything, Jim, you want to add to that?
Yeah, it was a good event. A total of $1 million was won by different teams. So it was really good.
So some hackers out there. So I know some people are thinking it's all about the malicious people getting paid. You can be a white hacker, a generous white hacker, and find out the vulnerabilities and get paid as well. You don't always have to go to the dark side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And anything else from you, Yemi?
Yeah, there's one that I got a kick out during the week as well. A very good article that I thought it could be a lesson point for most of us who manages our company domains and all that. So, and I thought, it's something that I can mention. It's happened a while back in December, January, when the top level domain name of DR Congo expired. And again, kudos to researchers and white hackers. He was able to buy the domain, top level domain of a country. So he bought it, and a country of 90 million people, right? You got their top level domain, just like someone gets a top level domain of .za. So this was just .ng, .gh, but this is .cd, and he got it. So, but he was a good guy, so he was able to now inform the contact. He got expired.
Did he get paid for it though? That's the main thing.
Nothing like that is reported yet. That's why I said I got a kick out.
No, if I buy some domain of a country, well, I won't obviously.
It was significant. So for some of people that do not know, if you buy a top domain level DNS of a particular country, you can do anything with it. Anybody that queries anything in that country can come to you. You can decide to create a server and serve all of them anything. You can serve them any phishing email. You can say, I can create email president.cd. Any government agency that and just send an email and make an announcement, just be malicious or you can even bring down the entire country, create a DDoS, intercept all queries of that domain. So it's really dangerous. So be on the lookout for your domain name, especially some of us are handling top level domain names for our company. So, and you can say, no, this cannot happen to a company. It actually happened in 2015 as well. So the Vietnamese Soviet Union top domain was also taken that way. Also, some of the Vietnamese Google, Lenovo websites were taken in 2015 as well. And someone used it to serve phishing emails to unsuspecting populace. So I got a kick at it that in the week, and I thought, yeah, it is a sign that many of us are not looking at how powerful those domain names are.
Yeah.
I think they are much more powerful than ever now. We should take care of it, renew it, watch it, even buy protection for it if we have to.
From what you've just described, for me, it sounds like if they don't have any control or ownership or a way of being informed, because I do know like domains, even for the ones we have personally or the ones we build personally, they kind of let you know 3 months, 4 months, 5 months before then.
Exactly.
And I always say when you're doing those kind of domain name, I like to do what they call a distribution list rather than an individual, because it might be a case that the individual is no longer there. And
absolutely,
obviously they're sending an email to an individual that is no longer there, and is obviously nobody's getting the mail, so it's going to expire. So most of the time when it comes to things like that, you need to have a distribution list and put in 4 or 5 people that are supposed to be aware of this sensitive information. Like you truly said, if your top level domain name is taken, you are fully compromised. There's nothing else. Luckily, in the case you described, it was someone who wanted to be a white hacker, or he wasn't intending to do anything malicious. So again, that's kudos to the people that want to educate and let people know that the good things. Doing good things doesn't mean you will never get rewarded. That's my
So credit to the guy called his name is Frederick. Frederick Norma, and is a co-founder of what they call a DetectFi company. That's the name of the company. What really good is, but it's also doubling as a white hacker. So he's a co-founder, but he's very active as well.
That's good. Really like good. I said, I like my white hackers. They're like us in a different kind of way.
that is what we do any day. Go ahead.
I'll try moving on to some very interesting let's just start with the Beck news. The malware. In South Africa, more than 40% of victims of ransomware attack in South Africa pay the cyber criminals. So again, is because cyber criminals are able to easily infiltrate organizations that hold secure data or data that are very sensitive for the organization. So the National Cybersecurity News basically stated is that 40% of all victims in South Africa pay.
Yeah, and mentioning South Africa is not because we are trying to shade South Africa. No. It's just because that is the only country I can see basically in Africa that has disclosure of things like this.
Yes.
So you can imagine what happens across Africa, because none of these things eats the news. Mm-hmm. So we know of South Africa right now. We don't know of anywhere else in Africa. But if you have news of that, please.
News of that? Well, I'm going to try and surprise you. Yes. There was actually news. There was a major Beck phishing ring cracked in, I think it was, I'm trying to recollect if I'm not mistaken. mistaken, it was Nigeria. I should have. Well, not that I should have mistaken.
Great.
I should have known. It was a joint. It was a joint Interpol
You
and
see?
Group IB and the Nigerian police force.
Yeah.
Cyber criminal investigation. It resulted in the arrest of 2 Nigerian nationals believed to be responsible for distributing malware, carrying out phishing campaign, and extensive scams worldwide. In the I think in the second quarter of 2020, they said the BEC was average. They got like $80,000, up from $54,000 in the first quarter, according to the anti-phishing working group. So it shows that, there is work being done by the what they call law enforcement agencies, and they are cracking down. BEC is very, very, it's a very difficult thing because it has to deal more with social engineering. It's I won't say it's easy to do. It's time consuming, but once it's done, you kind of ask yourself, how did I fall for it? And most of the victims that fall for the BEC is they don't want to report it because of shame. Like, how could this guy get me? How could I fall for such a thing? And most people, so there are lots of people that fall for it, but because they are kind of ashamed, because are you going to report to someone that I got an email, I clicked on it, and I paid $50,000? Does that sound normal to you?
Yeah. You know that people don't say it because they thought that nobody else will learn from it.
Yeah.
So that is the major thing. Yeah, because if you put it into right perspective, it's actually warning the other people. And as we always say today, security is a community thing.
Yeah.
If you don't mention it, and that's what we think, that obscurity means security. If they don't know, we are secure. No, you cannot be secure. It's better you shout it out loud there, let other people know. In Africa, we keep it hush, that we don't want to declare that we are compromised. You can declare that you are compromised so that the other guys can learn on how to protect themselves.
I totally agree. The BEC in Nigeria is, like I said, is one of the major things. But I think I was reading in one of the report, the Russian BEC group, there's a criminal element known as the Cosmic Links. They are actually they target companies, and they've been able to make up to, for all their efforts in all the BEC campaigns, is almost close to $1.27 million per effort. So everybody, they normally go for Fortune 500, the global 2000 companies in the world. So, and they seem to be, catching on. And why is that? Again, I think it's awareness. One is awareness, and one is lack of reporting. Because like I said, most organizations are kind of ashamed, or based on reputation, don't want to state that things have happened. So, yeah. And once again, any other news we think are worthy for our audience to hear today?
I think you should just go to the tips of the month.
Tips of the month. What tip do we want to give them? Let me see. There's one tip, which is the CISA, the Cyber Security and Infrastructure Security Agency, released a companion Splunk-based dashboard that helps review post-compromise activity in Microsoft Azure, Active Directory, Office 365, and Microsoft 65. I think it's a good one. I think we should try to look at the tool. I personally will have a look. I've had a look with Yemi briefly, but we're going to look at it and kind of give you a follow-up maybe next time on what we think the tool will help you in your day-to-day in your organization. But it's a good tool. Like I said, it was released by the Cyber Security and Information Security Agency. And that is something to look into.
Yeah, I think what I think is a very good job again from the CISA, because if you remember in the last podcast we talked about the solar wind compromise, which also led to Microsoft's compromise of the Office 365, their cloud environment, Active Directory, Azure Active Directory. So the CISA have gone ahead and said, guess what? I want to create a tool for you to actually know if you are compromised or not, if your security is up to par or not. The way you can analyze your cloud environment based on Microsoft Office 365, Azure AD, or other cloud environment. And you can put that in Splunk. That is very good, especially for some of us that handle a lot of governance. So that will definitely help us to be able to look at things to say, yeah, can I really assess if there's any level of compromise or not on my end? Yeah. So that is, I think that is really good. We should look at such a tool and make sure that we leverage on it. And if we don't have Splunk, by the way, so some people might be saying, what is Splunk? No, Splunk is just like your
I was going to say, we'll tell you more about Splunk in another episode and things to do with log. It's one of the sessions we're going to have in one of our podcasts where we go through some of the security tools that are needed within an enterprise. And, some of these tools are going to be relayed to you. And now, because some tools are good within the African environment and some tools are not. Some supports are not as good as the way they are within for the African environment. And we'll go through some tools and tell you some tools that are good and some tools that, you'll be taking a risk in deploying within an enterprise organization. So
absolutely.
I don't want us to delve into any tool right now. So, but again, if the CISA has already stated some of the tools we need to go through, and it will be good just review. We'll review it further for you guys sometimes in our next probably in our next podcast. Is there any other news out there? I've been scraping the old security world for you guys and trying to find out if anything juicy out there for you. Another area is from the the South Africa opposes the WhatsApp Facebook data sharing. I know that they've said the EU and Facebook having some disagreements about people signing off the thing where you sign I can't remember the name right now. Widespread confusion about WhatsApp future plans was compounded when it was announced that the EU user would not be forced yet to agree to share personal information with Facebook. However, non-EU users have been told they will be partially cut off from messaging app if they do not accept its revised terms by May 15, which is actually wrong because it means like if the EU can say to their citizens, they don't need to sign up for it because you're sharing personal information. They're non-EU. Is this something like any other African countries picking up? Because right now, South Africa is picking up. South Africa is saying it's against their own privacy policy.
Exactly. Because South Africa have got POPI Act. Most of us do not have. They've got POPI Act. Most of us do not have any privacy law in Africa.
I beg to differ though. I think we do have is the implementation. There are laws. I would say there are definitely laws in some African countries. I'll give maybe Ghana, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, and Cameroon. I'm sure in most northern African countries they'll probably have. Is the implementation I find that is the problem. The enforcement. Like now, categorically, you can see that South Africa is coming and say, look, those your laws, somebody is there checking. Hey, Facebook, your laws is not aligning with what we have in terms of privacy. Who is doing that for other African countries? Or is it like is ECOWAS standing up as a unit to say this cannot be done? Because to be honest, I have some friends that when the terms and conditions, the one that Facebook, WhatsApp brought, most people clicked on it before they even realized it was a problem. Do you understand? Most people didn't read it. Hey, I want to chat with someone. What's this popping up? Accept. Get out of my face. The thing is, there is no education and there needs to be education. I still believe that you need to educate people to let them know their responsibility. I was having a discussion with one guy and he was like, no, what's it? It's Facebook. Is they have money. They're going to do whatever they want to. I'm like, no, you don't have to accept what is wrong. Remember, if you accept it and you see your kid or something, remember you accepted it. Whatever you accept now, that is negative. It's not you. It's your kids that will reap either the reward or the non-reward from it. So that is the part about privacy. So I agree with you, and I also do not agree with you. If you understand what I mean?
Yeah. You're right with what you said, but I just said one of the things that are critical. POPIA is compliant with technology. Most of our privacy law in Africa, they are not compliant with technology. So POPIA can actually be compared to GDPR. So EU could do that because of GDPR. Absolutely. South Africa could say that because of POPIA. And POPIA already laid down how you should treat those electronic information. But in most part of Africa, we probably have something that is dated back a long time ago that cannot even be implemented in the age of technology. And having said, I'm not defending WhatsApp or Facebook, right? Having said that, I'd rather leave my information with WhatsApp because of the encryption than leave it somewhere else.
True.
So I know at least they will still stick to their end-to-end encryption for a while, hopefully. Yeah. But what other company are implementing, I might not. But for some of our listeners who want to jump off WhatsApp, they can go to Signal, for instance. Signal is implemented it completely. That's what you call security forward. So most of the feature that WhatsApp is just implementing, like disappearing messages, has been implemented with Signal like 3 years ago. Yeah. So Signal is complete end-to-end. You can do. The only thing is, it doesn't have the numbers. So
no, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time.
Security
speaks.
It
jumped up when
Elon Musk, when WhatsApp first of all announced. But a lot of people have gone back to WhatsApp.
Yeah, exactly. I think people just, because if you go to Signal, your friends are not on Signal. You go back to your friends. You go back to where your friends are, like, hey, man, my friends are still on WhatsApp. Nobody's moving. I'm the only one moving. So
sadly, today, those big tech, they are really powerful. They've got the numbers. But again,
that's it. Data, man.
Again,
and data
key
is what
warning.
rules the world now.
Key warnings always. Know who you add to your social circle. Sometimes those companies might not be extremely, extremely compromised, but all your friends that you send messages to, or the group that you belong to, where you share your identity, you share your thoughts, do you really know them? So a lot of WhatsApp group that we have now, which you cannot be accounted for. But again, you need to go through your list and say, yeah, what am I really saying on this forum? Yeah, that's a topic for another day.
Yeah, I think I did a detox in some groups I was joining on LinkedIn and Facebook. I was like, man, I don't have anything to do. What can I do? Go through all my groups and detox, because, you know, when you start getting some messages from random people that you don't really know, you'll be like, why do you know me? Oh, from this group. Okay,
I belong to that group.
I belong to that group. So okay, that means that group might not even be vetting who is joining the group or things like that. So you have to be careful about the groups you join, who's joining, and things like that. So, and that's it. I think we've talked quite a bit of everything and touched mostly everything that has occurred in this month of April of ours. I don't know if there's anything.
The month of April is about to end, but it's not about to end yet. So there's a lot that might still come up.
Yeah, we'll carry that over. But we'll definitely inform you guys.
Absolutely. We look forward to some of you join us in the next episode. That might probably be not news. Might be some interview. Who knows?
Yes,
we'll want to come up with some things. But
We're coming up with some good things for you guys. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So it's going to be a good ride. So look forward to the next podcast.
Thank you all. And before we round up, just to let you know, we'll be on YouTube. We have our LinkedIn page. We have our YouTube, and we're also on Twitter. Follow us, Just Unsecure. And that's really it from me. Yemi?
Yeah. So you can also listen to us on different podcast platform. We're on Apple Podcast.
Yep.
We are on Intune. We are also on Google Podcast and all of that. So you can download the audio version and just listen in. Whether you are driving through the traffic, or you are flying, or you are just chilling at home, just listen to some of our chatter. We know you will enjoy it. But the video version, definitely you'll find on our YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.